ahead here in Shrewsbury. If you take a little look just along down here, you can see the barriers that were put up at the end of this car park a little bit earlier today, the silver barriers just down the end, and we're seeing barriers like that going up all the way along the river here in Shrewsbury. This was a town that flooded really severely last spring, and of course people here are very anxious that something similar might happen, and of course combined with all the lockdown restrictions, that would be a complete nightmare. Now we know that there are a few places in England, Wales, Northern Ireland or Scotland that are going to escape bad weather over the course of the next few days. A number of warnings in place. The most severe warning for rain covering the north of England and much of the Midlands and central England, but most places going to see a fair amount of rain. That's going to then be followed in the coming days by quite strong winds, and then perhaps some snow. So we're all being told just to brace ourselves for what is coming. We know some areas sandbags are being delivered, particularly in South Yorkshire where that major incident has been declared, and really now it's just a question of waiting to see what happens, hoping the weather won't be as bad as forecast. Now, I have been speaking to council officials here in Shrewsbury today. They've told me that anyone who wants to get out to protect their business, which might be closed, of course, due to lockdown restrictions, they can do that. That would be seen as a reasonable reason for leaving their home during lockdown. But of course, for anybody whose home floods during these lockdown restrictions, particularly if they're vulnerable to coronavirus, that's going to be very worrying. So a lot of people, eyes on the skies and really hoping it's not going to be as bad as forecast.